and you feel the energy of the city. Our partnership follows a similar path. We recognize that the most meaningful progress doesn't always happen on a straight, predictable road. It happens when we have the agility to navigate new routes together, finding the direct openings that lead to real achievement. This open path diplomacy is driven by the personal bond between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi. I hear about it every time the President and I speak. One of the first questions the President will ask is, how is my friend the Prime Minister doing? And that is something that is important to convey, because this relationship is not new, it's not a year old, it's not 2 years old, it stems almost a decade. Together, they have redefined what is possibly by moving with a shared sense of purpose and a relentless focus on the future. From George Washington to President Donald Trump, the United States remains a shining beacon for the world. President Trump and Prime Minister Modi are leaders who have championed a new vision for the partnership between our two nations. One that is transparent, one that is agile, and above all, one that is results-oriented. Every week at the embassy, I tell my team, what are we gonna achieve
this week? Results matter. These two individuals, President Trump, Prime Minister Modi, they also recognize the immense potential of our two nations and are dedicated to ways for us to work together. This bond is the foundation of a new era, one where we are actively delivering on the promise of our cooperation and building a future of tangible achievements. Since I arrived in New Delhi just 5 months ago, we have announced an interim trade deal that hopefully in the next few weeks will get signed. India has been invited, accepted, and joined Pact Silica, and commercial diplomacy is at record high levels. I am specifically proud that every embassy competes to bring investment into the United States. And our embassy in India came in #1 in the world with $20.5 billion of new investments into the United States. Tonight is not only about celebrating history, it is about looking ahead to a new era of shared success driven by the extraordinary momentum in the US-India partnership. Since I've arrived here, I've been honored to advocate for a shared future, ensuring that top decision makers in Washington recognize the US-India relationship. As you know, we have a direct line to everybody in the administration, but especially to our president. That is the partnership that opens markets, drives innovation, and creates high-quality jobs for both Americans and Indians. America first does not mean America alone. And every week we identify opportunities that are win-win situations for both of our nations. I'm especially proud that this spring our embassy brought a record-breaking delegation, which will continue over the weeks, months ahead as we continue our work here in India. But today also is a very special evening here because it is somebody's first trip to India. I want to welcome somebody who's an extraordinary individual. This is somebody who is not able to leave the White House every single day because he's usually with the president. This is somebody who's not just in one position, but he's also the national security advisor. I want to welcome, and I want to ask everybody here to help me welcome, somebody I consider a dear friend, but somebody who will go down in history as possibly the greatest Secretary of State of the United States. Please help me welcome the extraordinary Secretary Marco Rubio. We gotta turn the music up, come on! Louder!
Thank you. Well, Sergio, let me just say this. We have great ambassadors everywhere, all over the world, but I don't know anyone who's a better event producer of all of our ambassadors than what Sergio's put on here today. We're not even halfway through the evening. Sergio, this is a great event in honor of the 250 years of our country. And I want to thank you. Not only are you doing a great job tonight, but Sergio and his team here at the U.S. Embassy are doing a phenomenal job every single day in one of the most important relationships we have in the world. Thank you, Sergio. And thank you to our embassy team and everybody that works on it every single day. I also want to thank all of our friends from the diplomatic corps, various countries, so many that are here today representing your countries. We're honored and we're grateful that you would be here today to recognize the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States of America. We're very grateful all of you are here. Thank you for coming. It's an honor to share this evening with all of you. It's a true privilege. And obviously, I would be remiss if I did not thank both the welcome and the hospitality that we've gotten from everybody here in India and all of your government leaders, and in particular the foreign minister, who's become someone I've gotten to know very well. In fact, and I say this, you maybe have heard me say this before, but let me say it just one more time, and then the story gets old. When I became Secretary of State, I was sworn in like at noon or 11 a.m. that morning after the inauguration. I immediately went over to the State Department, and the first meeting I ever had was with a group of the 4 countries known as the Quad, and one of the people that I met on that very first day, and I've interacted with so many times, is Foreign Minister Jaishankar, and he's been phenomenal. He's a truly wise gentleman and does incredible work on behalf of your country, and someone that I have tremendous esteem and respect for. In fact, I told Sergio when he came here, I said, get to know the Foreign Minister, because he truly knows what he's talking about in terms of global events. Look, we're honored to be here today to celebrate 250 years of our country. And we're very proud of the United States of America. We're very proud of its achievements. There's a lot of things to be proud of about America. And the one thing I'm really proud about America is that it has served as a beacon of hope, not just around the world, but to individuals. My own parents were not born in the United States. My own parents came in 1956 to the United States from the island of Cuba. And they came to the one place on earth where people like them would have a chance to truly have a better life. Neither one of my parents were very educated. My father lost his mother when he was 12 or 13 years of age. His parents, he basically was on his own from the time he was 12 or 13, had to find his way in the world. My mother was one of 7 sisters raised in rural poverty. And they were married, and they were very young when they came to the United States. And they achieved amazing things. My parents were never rich people, and they were never famous people. But they were successful people, because not only were they able to achieve a better life, they were able to do the most important thing in the world for them, and that is to leave their children better off than themselves, to give their children every opportunity in the world to do whatever it is they desired to do. They knew that for them, some of their personal dreams may not be achievable, but they wanted to make sure that for their children there were no limits. They wanted to make sure of that, and we owe that to the United States of America, so we're extraordinarily proud of our country and of its history. By the same token, we're also proud because we know that so much of what we've achieved in our history has been built in partnership with other countries around the world, with which we share so much. And one of those relationships that I'm so excited about going into the 21st century, given the challenges and the opportunities of this new era, is India. It's one of those countries that I know that we have this very valuable strategic partnership with, and we share so many values and so many common interests. And so, obviously, I try to get around the world. I will try to go to other celebrations of our 250th birthday in different parts of the world, although I doubt any will have a production like this one. But I want you to know that part of my visit here is also to reinforce how important this relationship is, how exciting it is, and how many opportunities we have to do things together. If I think about all of the key issues and all of the key opportunities of the modern economy, India and the United States together are perfectly positioned to work together on these issues to achieve a better life for the people of the United States, for the people of India, and frankly, for the people of other countries working together as well. And so, as much as anything else, this visit is about reinforcing that and, of course, celebrating 250 years as a nation. And I want to thank every single one of you, how special it is that you would share it with us here this evening. There's more entertainment to follow. There's more fun to happen. I, unfortunately, will not be able to perform tonight because my contract with Sony does not allow me to perform in unsanctioned events. But if you come to our 251st birthday, you never know. But for our 250, I just can't do it contractually. But anyway, all kidding aside, thank you all very much. It's an honor to be with all of you. And let me just say thank you to India for welcoming us, and may God always bless America. Thank you. Fireball.
Thank you to a great Floridian and the greatest Secretary of State in U.S. history. We are privileged this evening to hear from our distinguished guest, India's Minister of External Affairs and a great friend of the United States, His Excellency, Dr. S. Jaishankar.
Namaskar and a very good evening to all of you. Secretary Marco Rubio, Ambassador Sergio Gore, friends. It's a great pleasure to join you all at the celebration of the 250th year of the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America. Our felicitations to Secretary Rubio and to the Ambassador, and through them, to the Trump administration and the American people. The Declaration of Independence articulated ideas that shaped the modern world: individual liberty, rule of law, free speech, and accountable governance. Those ideals influenced democratic movements and freedom struggles elsewhere. In our case, this resonance was natural, given India's long history as a pluralistic society with a consultative ethos. Today's event, therefore, has a particular significance. It is a coming together of those for whom democracy is in their very DNA. Friends, the beliefs underpinning the Declaration of Independence was thereafter expressed in measures for ascertaining the will of the people and creating a federal structure. Some of those experiences were taken into account by India's constitution makers. Our affinities have only grown with more travel and with deeper technology and economic linkages. Today, our two countries approach the world with certain common attributes. We are both political democracies, we are market economies, and we are open societies. These shared traits have in recent times been strengthened by a convergence of national interests. And that is precisely what has enabled us to overcome the hesitations of history. Our strategic partnership is expressed now in a very wide range of activities. They span trade and investment, defense and security, critical and emerging technologies, semiconductors, AI, energy and space, to education, to health and to culture. Our robust linkages grow as each side adds value and expands opportunities for the other. India and the United States have a strong interest in combating terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. We must always be clear about zero tolerance for terrorism. And that is why our counter-terrorism cooperation is so important. The people-to-people connect has also been a very special characteristic of our relationship. The Indian diaspora in the United States has contributed enormously to American society across technology, academia, medicine, entrepreneurship, and public service. It has helped build political understanding between our two nations